So here we are then, after practice. We've gained a good amount of R&D points. So let's quickly see. We've got 2.7k R&D points. So we're going to try and make an upgrade. I'm not sure if we got a message about the R&D change. Looks like so far we haven't. So we're going to go on and do an upgrade if we can. Looks like we can't. So we're going to keep saving our points for now, and you can see qualifying will be full wet conditions, so it's definitely going to be interesting. So we're going to try and get into the top 10 and then start on mediums. We do have a fresh engine, so there's actually no point in me doing qualifying, so we're just going to retire. And worth to remember, this is the first race where we are going to have George Russell as a teammate, because we signed George Russell at the end of last episode. And I tried Fernando Alonso, but he declined. So yeah, George Russell definitely a great option. As can we see? Don't think we can see here, but we can see once. Well, for the next episode, what George's rating is. But without any further ado, we're just gonna head into quali to load a setup, so we're not on a default setup. So here we are then in the session.
Wet tires in the current conditions?
I don't mean to mind that. We're going to load our setup. 5 wings, 156 transmission, right, left on the suspension geometry, 181,536 on the suspension, brakes 150, and tire pressures fronts on 23.8 and rears will do 23.1. So we've got a balance between the fronts and the rears. So without further ado, we're just gonna retire from the session because we're anyway gonna start last, having changed all of our components. So you can see the driver changes that have been made. Max Verstappen firstly is on pole by 1,000 ahead of his teammate, but then we move on to McLaren. Valtteri Bottas moves from the Mercedes to McLaren, meaning where is Lando Norris? We do not know where he went. But anyway, then it's Nobuharu Matsushita in his debut season in F1, straight into the Mercedes. Then it's Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri in P7, the two Ferraris of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc, P8 and P9, Yuki Tsunoda P10, so they've stayed the same. We've got Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon in the Alpines, remaining the same as well. Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. Kimi Raikkonen in the Alfa Romeo. And you can see Lando Norris has gone from McLaren to Williams alongside Nicholas Latifi. So George came from Williams to us. Lando went from McLaren to Williams. Nobuharu went to Mercedes. So yeah, very interesting. Haas have stayed the same. Gio stayed in the Alfa Romeo, but you can see George not far off of P16, which is already pretty okay. And yeah, I guess we just head on into the race.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar. Monza hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6 mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Ricciardo, Bottas, Nobuharu Matsushita, and Gasly, Sainz, Leclerc, Tsunoda, and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Vettel, Lance Stroll, and Raikkonen, Hamilton, Norris, George Russell, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, and the owner driver. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So here we are then on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix race and round number 9 of the season in this so far epic aspect racing F1 team career mode. Starting from the back, we of course didn't compete in the full wet quali as there's no need to, since we changed every single component. So yeah, starting from the back, medium soft, the way we're gonna go. Probably gonna box on lap like 4 or even 3 and go for an undercut. So that's the way I'm hoping to get into the points. We do have an OP engine, like by far the best on the grid, so let's hope that will help us. We're gonna go with 14.0 laps of fuel, drive throughout. So without further ado, let's into this race, and as we're gonna try and get a good start and send it up the inside of a couple of cars into turn 1 as favorite lights are on, and it is lights out, and well, it's just lights out for the Italian Grand Prix. As you can see up ahead already, people scrapping away as we're gonna go down the inside. Can we get it stopped? Did we just get wing damage? We'll ask Jeff in a minute. Vehicle condition.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage. No need to worry about.
So we have gotten wing damage. Bit too aggressive on that send.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Got that confirmed.
Sebastian having none of it, going right down our inside into the first Lesmo. Think we're gonna box on this lap and risk it for softs. There's no way hards are gonna work.
Soft tires at the next pit stop. Okay, fitting the wet compound when you next come in.
Into the pit lane we come then. Definitely not what we wanted, but I think the undercut might just cancel out the fact that we have to change our front wing. As you can see, the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo doing the same as we are gonna do. Soft tires on the car, of course, fresh softs. As Daniel goes past.
Go, go, go.
So out of the pit lane we come. Gonna be a crucial 6 or 7 laps now as we nearly spin on pit exit. So I'm gonna push for now and we'll see how we get on. 25.1 seconds is the gap to Nikita, so let's see how that evolves over the next couple. Gaining about 1.5 seconds a lap right now compared to Nikita Mazepin and the rest of the cars ahead of him. Only 1 second gained on Nikita on that last lap. Maybe he pre at DRS, so that made the half a second difference. So you can actually see here Fernando Alonso. It wasn't a mechanical failure. He lost the rear end out of his car and just spun into the wall. As he overcorrects and into the wall, he goes taking out the DHL styrofoam board, but he just lost the rear, simply clipping the curb, lost the rear and into the wall. So unfortunate DNF for him. As Fernando Alonso is out of the session, we've got a safety car. So everyone is stopping except for one Red Bull. I'm guessing he was too far ahead. As we now have a full course safety car halfway through the race. Everyone is into the pits. Our teammate George might even be able to get points. I am gonna box for fresh softs, as we're anyway gonna be last. But where is George Russell?
Is 25.9 seconds. The time last lap was a 1 minute 30.8.
Just as we close up, more or less. Wait, what is happening? And we went back to 100% DRS. It's a weird glitch, but anyway, we're on the back of Mazepin, more or less. As I do not know what they did there, and I did not know that we were 3 wide. But anyway, I guess that's a quick 4 positions made up. Let's push on to try and catch Mick Schumacher, of course, the AI, running full power the first 2 laps after the safety car. So, or actually, we're gonna send it here. No, we're not gonna send it. I'm gonna try and get a better exit. There we go. Just cutting underneath. We've got so much more grip as we just about run out of deployment. So up into P16 we go then. 3 more laps to go. We're definitely gonna have to. Here we go then, gaining our Lancer. Can we go for a move into the second chicane? We're gonna send it as we should have the grip. As we go down the inside, we make a nice move up into P15. You can see George currently up in P13. Not great, not in the points, but definitely already better. And I mean, our car shouldn't be in the points, so yeah, not too bad. Just gonna try and get Kimi maybe this time into Parabolica. Again, we won't go for it into Parabolica. Why did Kimi go defensive there? I do not know. So we go clean around the outside of the Finnish driver. He is going to re-challenge as we run out of deployment. As that Alfa Romeo is actually pretty quick on the straight. Don't want to use much more ERS, because we're anyway going to hold on. Under braking, although I say so. And Kimi absolutely sends it around the outside, but I can't go side by side through the middle sector, which puts us up into P14 with a bit more than 1.5 laps to go. George and Lando are going to be scrapping it out for P13 if we get the opportunity to overtake them. Down, I think one of them has damage, as we try and not get damage ourselves. So here we go then. George Russell can make a move on Lando. We're going to go around the outside of George Russell and Lando Norris into Parabolica. We can brake late. Daniel Ricciardo has damage for the second time in this race, as we're up to P11. The question is, does Sebastian Vettel have DRS? No, he does not, which means it's a free overtake for us. So we go to the outside. George gonna try and overtake Lando Norris as we go around the outside of turn 1. We actually make a bit of contact there. We might have gotten side pod damage.
Pods have taken damage. You may start to pick up a little drag. This is your final lap of the race.
So final lap of the race, we of course need to absolutely send it. Currently in P10. P8 of course would be pretty nice from the back of the grid, but I'll take P10 as well. Well, to catch up to them, but it's not going to be enough. P10 for us. Max Verstappen wins. I do not know if he got the fastest lap as well. But anyways, P22 to P10 is pretty okay, in my opinion.
Here we are then, a thoroughly deserved win in Italy after another excellent Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. Max Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver today. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
Let's move on to the constructors. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So that is it then with the Italian Grand Prix. You can see in the constructors it's going to be such a close battle all the way right through the final race in Abu Dhabi, with Alpine for P6 definitely would help us out. You can see Max from pole with the fastest lap absolutely dominated this race. Nobuharu Matsushita on his debut in Formula One in P2, while Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri scores P3, Leclerc P4, Valtteri P5, Checo only down in P6, so bad race for him. I think the safety car screwed him up because he was held. Carlos Sainz P7, Lewis with a grid penalty. Well, I'm guessing he had a grid penalty up to P8, Yuki Tsunoda P9, us in P10. Good recovery, I'd say. Again, you can see the racecraft of George from P17 to P12. Great job from him. In between us, Sebastian in P12. Lando, a rival, P13. Stroll 14th. Schumacher 15th. Kimi Raikkonen 16th. Esteban Ocon in 17th. Nicholas Latifi 18th. Giovinazzi 19th. Nikita Mazepin in 20th. Then, of course, Daniel had to do 2 pit stops, 2 front wing changes in P21, and then Fernando Alonso in P22 with a mechanical failure. Pretty sure, but you can see both Alpines didn't score points. That's how we caught up. 1 point, trailing Alpine by 1 point now. It's definitely gonna be interesting. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel and Aspect's channel. If you don't know who Aspect is the editor of this video, so if he wasn't here, we wouldn't have this series. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and goodbye.